Welcome back. Today we're reading from the last chapter in my book, Inner Spaces. It's called Remembrance. The first poem is called Early Flight, and I wrote it for my nephew Alan, who was killed about 2 weeks after his 18th birthday. And a couple of weeks before this event happened, I had been home, and my mother and I were each on the phone talking to my brother and his family. Usually it was my sister-in-law that did most of the talking, but this time my brother came on, and this is what he told us. He said, "I've had a dream." He said, about one of my boys being killed in a car accident. He said, "I don't know which one it is," but he said, Alan just graduated and he needs a car. He said, so I went out and bought him the biggest, sturdiest car I could find. Here is the poem, Early Flight. Nobody expected you to take an early flight. Not you, whose smile flashed like a neon light, while timely perceptions exploded in your eyes, shaped themselves into sudden sallies that were sometimes sharp but seldom resented. Instead, we refreshed ourselves at the stream of your joyous exuberance. Loved the way you touched with unembarrassed ease. And now, remembering that touch, feel abandoned. You walk through that door so casually, while we, hangers-on, beat our fists upon it. Remembering only the brightness that has fled, hearing only the sibilant silence like something left unsaid. And my brother liked this poem so much that he had it engraved on a plaque and put on Alan's grave. Well, I'm not quite sure why this picture is in this section, except that it introduces the next poem. It's a beautiful spring scene in Michigan, the Dow Gardens. I love going home in the spring to celebrate Mother's Day. Once off the highway, I would slow down and take Redbud Trail, which runs through a white blanket of apple orchards in bloom. It then winds along the river with a delicate rose lavender of redbud trees and white splashes of dogwood in the forest. In town, I look for the yellow forsythia bushes, a splash of bright tulips, and the crabapple trees with their thick pink and white blossoms. It all filled my heart with a world simmering with miracles. Here is the poem, Mother. Now that you're gone, only my tongued heart can find you, by the shape of your voice, low and lilting as it strikes against my inner walls, by the touch of your eyes, roaming the halls of my secret spaces, knowing me and cradling me against all the dark places. After my mother passed, I inherited her cat, Missy, and this poem is a tribute both to Missy and to my mother. A tribute. Missy reminded me of the miracle of life. I don't know why she evoked this wonder. She was a cat. She didn't talk philosophy. She wasn't a kitten newly born. She had some years on her. Yet, following her silky, flowing body as she led me to her food bar, her smorgasbord of dried and dying delicacies, I was filled with wonder. 10 pounds of silk and sinew flowed before me, fully attuned to the present moment and confident I would meet her every need. Thank you, Mom, for bequeathing her to me. She was a living testament to you. She carried memories of your house on the hill, where sunshine was a part of the furniture, where flowers and sunrises were a part of the decor. The only decor you cared about is your tatted lacy art, creating beauty for others to enjoy. I remember you telling me about Missy as a kitten, grabbing a ball of yarn and running with it through the house, tangling furniture in herself, making you laugh until you cried. And now I cry remembering you, remembering Missy. You were so remarkable that as a young girl, I feared comparison until I came to a place where uniqueness was apparent. Today there is pain and loss and a desire to describe you, to capture your throaty laugh, your voice that echoes in my bones, your independent spirit that defied conventions, but was generous and self-sacrificing. And intelligent. I remember coming home from college and telling you about studying antimatter. You were not surprised. You had read about it in the science section of Time magazine. There's more than one way to get an education. Yours was cheaper. I was proud of you, even as you were proud of me. Although Missy is gone now, your rugs adorn my floors, your tattered and crocheted art hangs on my walls and lies on my bed. You adorn my heart. Amidst the pain, there is much joy. Thanks, Mom. This next poem is about my stepfather, who literally died laughing. It's called A Toast. We raise our glasses, not gladly, but in reluctant admiration. Months before, a stillness settled in your bones, a bird buried in the marrow, its feathers greased down, nesting in that dark hole, rotting without blinking its eyes. Ordinarily, you would have rejected such unnaturalness, but your heart, that great amoeba, swallowed it and refused to give it up, worked at it like a cat would work at it, slowly with arched back. That night, you went to see Virgil about the boat seats and got to laughing, pushing your pleasure out, when your bird dislodged itself and caught in your throat, a giant stopper that bottled your joy and sealed you up like canning wax. Later, in your satin box, you smiled. You left the appointed bed in Ann Arbor, gaping like an open wound. You dodged the bright needles, the masked faces, that fearful inaction. So now, here's to you, Johnny, though at the time we were too stunned to appreciate. This last poem I'm going to read is called Coming Out of Sorrow. Coming out of sorrow, she stops and sniffs the wind like some wild thing coming out of its hole. She remembers the fiery rage of her loss that threatened to scatter her too far for recognition. She had retreated into stillness of life below, too hurt to tend to her wound or to hear the myriad voices of those calling above. She pauses now in the sunlight, needing contact, needing to face that space within that will never be filled, but will forever be cherished. This concludes the exploration of my books. I hope you were entertained and maybe informed a little along the way. I also hope that maybe you'll want to read the books for yourselves. There's a link for them on my website, which you can just push the button here, or you can go to Amazon and type in Lorraine Siegel in the search bar. This doesn't end my channel, because from now on we're going to be exploring works by new authors, and the first one we'll take a look at is Consuelo Campbell's fantasy trilogy. Till next time, please join us. If you'd like to contact me, you can email me. You can also visit my website, lorrainesiegel.com.